It's Judy Steffes, and I'm on the Amazing Ride for Alzheimer's, and I'm in another windmill. This inside Monster is the name of the community in Holland, and I was taking a look around, and there's actually a docent upstairs. His name is Sam. So let's go and take a look. We are climbing, right now I'm on the second level, and we are climbing up to the third, and we're going to run into Sam. And Sam, you're 22 years old, and you like the windmill because?
Oh, it's a hobby of mine. So I'm a voluntary miller, and it's my hobby to make sure a historic monument like this is still operational, even in 2017.
And the name of this mill is?
This windmill is called the Vier Winden, which means the four winds, and that's a reference to the four wings outside.
And then what year was this built?
This windmill was built in 1882 as a replacement for an older windmill which burned down, and the first windmill at this very spot was built in 1311.
Okay, a couple things that you can tell us about this, some of the different things that I didn't see the first time around you can mention?
Well, over here we are at the station where the miller in the olden days would work all day, because this is the place where he would collect the flour. As you can see, last week we have been grinding some flour the old-fashioned way. And the important thing is the quality of the flour, which always needs to be consistent. Because if at one moment the flour is very fine and at another moment the flour is very coarse, the baker couldn't use it to make nice bread. So we've got these weights which are connected to these beams over here, and this one over here, which are connected to the grinding stones. And by lifting these weights or lowering them, I can change the distance between the two grinding stones. So if you apply more pressure, the flour will be more fine, and if you take the stones off each other a little bit, the flour will be a little coarser. And when the wind is inconsistent, which it always is, when the wind is stronger at one moment, the grain will move through the stones quicker, which makes for a coarser flour. And you don't want that, because you want a constant quality, so you need to apply more pressure. And the miller, which was the expert of the windmill, he would listen to the grinding stones, he would listen to the wings outside and the wind blowing, and also by feeling the flour, he could constantly make sure, by lifting and lowering these weights, that the quality of the flour was constant.
Some of the names of the apparatus we were talking about, the different pieces of wood, and do they have names or?
Yes, every single piece of wood in a windmill, and also pieces of steel or cast iron, has a name. Over here, for example, there's one of the most important parts of the windmill. These beams together, so these two, and the larger one, we call the horse. And this name was given because we've got the body of the horse, the two rear legs, the front legs, and at the front the head as well. So it would kind of look like a horse, so they call it the horse. And also over there we've got this thing turning on wind power, and it's called the governor in English. In Dutch we call it the regulateur. And it's an example of an attempt of millers in the 19th century to make the windmill a bit more efficient, because this turning device with the balls, when the windmill turns faster, the balls go to the outside, and I push these rods here up or down, and automatically the stones can be altered according to the wind speed to make sure the quality of the flour is correct.
Could we go outside for a moment?
Yes, of course.
Safely?
Yes, it's safe.
Okay. What is the big steering wheel?
The big steering wheel is very important, because it's the wheel we use to make sure the windmill is facing the wind. If you want to turn, if you want to grind flour, you need to face the wind directly. And in the Netherlands, the wind always comes from a different direction. So today we've got a wind from the north, but the next day or even the next moment, the wind can be from the west or another direction. So you need to make sure the wings are facing the wind. And by turning this wheel, we can wind up this chain over here, which is hooked into the platform we're standing on. the entire roof of the windmill is based on little wheels.
Uh-huh.
So if you wind up the chain, you just turn the entire roof of the windmill to face the wind.
Okay. And then how do you make that stop?
Well,
Or it stops on its own?
it doesn't stop on its own.
Oh.
So, there is a way to make it stop, of course. We've got this rope over here. It's attached to the beam sticking out of the roof.
Uh-huh.
And using this rope, I can get it's a primitive drum brake. So we've got these brake blocks around a large gear wheel inside the roof of the windmill, and I can make these blocks tighten around the wheel to make it stop. And I can show you as well.
Sure.
It needs to be very delicate, because if you just drop the brake on, the wings might fall off.
Oh,
So it's a very precise job to stop the wind.
sure. Huh.
But as you can see, it's
Slowing down.
and you can make it stop
Yeah.
exactly where you want it to stop.
Huh. And then now it can start back up again.
Yes.
Oh, all right. Do you ever have to put the sails up?
Yeah.
Do you know how to do that too?
Yes. Well, it's an exception today because the wind is quite strong, so we don't need to use any sails.
Sure.
But most times we do need to use the sails, and you can apply them in a lot of different ways to always control the speed of the windmill.
Do the wings have to keep going if we want to go look at the stones turning, or can you show us that?
Well, the stones at the moment we are not grinding any flour.
Okay.
I might be able to show you it in a moment, but first of all I will make it turn again.
Sure.
And we can go upstairs and
Sure.
I will show you
Okay.
the way it works.
To me, it seems that there had to be danger at some point in time.
Well, the danger of a windmill still is that it's a machine.
Mm-hmm.
So if you visit a windmill, you always need to remind yourself of the function of it. It's not a tourist attraction; it's a machine.
Sure.
And there have been people who were caught in between the gears, and if a windmill wasn't maintained well or isn't operated well, something can break, the wings can fall off. So you really need to to keep it safe.
Okay. Maybe we can go up?
Yes.
Hello. Follow along. Were these stairs in the olden days even steeper?
No, they have been replaced 10 years ago because the old ones were very poor state.
Sure.
But they would be like this. They're copies of the old stairs.
Oh, okay.
But it depends on the windmill you're at. Some windmills have very steep, even steeper stairs. But there aren't any windmills, or barely any windmills, who traditionally had normal stairs. There would always be more ladders than stairs.
Okay. All right. So if you can explain, what level are we at here now?
Well, this is the stone floor, translated from Dutch roughly, and it's the heart of the windmill because over here we've got the grinding stones. We've got 3 pairs of them, so you can use different stones. In a flour mill, most of the times you would have a stone for different types of grains. Most importantly, the wheat. Tarwe, we call it in the Netherlands. Mm-hmm. Also rogge, rye, and also sometimes for animal food.
Okay.
At farms, they would have a stone which wouldn't produce it as fine as a stone for human consumption. Mm-hmm. So you needed to have different stones to do different things.
Mm-hmm. Should we go up one more?
I think we should stay here a moment.
Sure.
I think for the story.
Okay.
Because here I can tell you something more.
Sure.
Maybe I'll Do you want me to continue?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Well, here you can see the way the transmission is put in.
Sure.
So we've got a large wheel which is always turning when the windmill is turning, and then we've got the smaller wheels, and you can engage them or you can just leave them if you don't want to use the grinding stone. So if you aren't grinding any flour, the stone isn't turning.
Okay.
Well, the stone can be very easily made to work because there's upstairs you can just shove the small wheel into the larger wheel. The heat of this wheel will grab into the spaces between these little pylons in the smaller wheel, and this way there's a connection through this axle. The grinding stones are operated.
Okay.
So this stone is quite special because it's an original lava stone.
Okay.
And we call it a blue stone, and it's a type of stone we get from the German Eifel mountain range, which is a volcanic mountain range. And these grinding stones have a very nice qualities to produce flour for human consumption, because they produce a very fine flour, but also they cut the shell of the grains very nicely, so that you have very nice whole grain bread. If you want to make white bread, you need to sieve these parts of the shell out of the flour. So then you get the actual flour, the white flour, which is used for baking also cookies or cake, pancakes, something like this. But obviously the most important product of the windmill was the whole grain flour, which was produced to make the regular bread. Here you can see an example of what the inside of a grinding stone looks like. This one is put the other way around. These grooves here, they're on the bottom side of the upper stone and on the upper side of the bottom stone. And well, they face the other way. So we've got one pattern this way and one pattern that way. And the little pieces of grain, they find a spot in between the two grooves. And when it's turning, it's going to be pushed to the outside. Well, in the inside, it's divided equally in the grinding stones. In the middle, the shell of the grain is crushed, and then at the outer part of the stone, in the actual grinding to flour is done. So this is the most important part of the grinding stone. And if you produce a very large amount of flour, thousands of kilos, which would be done in probably every 2, 3 to 6 months in the windmill in the olden days, which was fully functioning. The grooves were worn down and they need to be sharpened. So we've got hammers like these, and you would use the crane over there at the other side there, to lift the upper stone up, turn it round, and make sure the grooves are visible, and then you make sure the entire floor is dark. So you have these hatches you can put in front of the windows, and you have a very special lamp or maybe a candlelight to shade, to apply a specific shade in these grooves, and then you can really sharpen them. But if you do this incorrectly, the quality of the flour produced is very poor. So it needs to be very precise.
Do you know how to do this too? The grooves?
Well, I'm not an expert, but I've done it one time.
Okay. All right. How long does a stone last?
Well, with the amount of flour we're producing at the moment, which is not very often, these grinding stones can last forever. But in the olden days, maybe 10 years, 20 years, and after that period of time, they need to be replaced because they were worn down so much.
Okay.